It is the next race of the Diamond Challenge Sculls. My goodness, we are spoilt with international talent in this event, and this time it is the Netherlands v Japan. It is Melvin Twellaar against Ryuta Arakawa. And Twellaar, who is an incredible talent, who wants to be the single, I think, and has of course got Simon van Dorp, who's also in this event. I mean, they are spoilt for talent in the Dutch sculling team.
They certainly are, and Twellaar's had a fantastic few years. He won the silver medal at the Olympics last year in the double. I think they were actually pretty disappointed with that too. They won the silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics in the double sculls as well, but in between that, he had some fantastic races in the single.
And he has really taken it out hard. My goodness, the rate is still really high, even though we're quite a bit after the island here. Really challenging the Japanese rower, although the Japanese rower is hanging in there himself, isn't he? Ryuta Arakawa, who has a lot of experience as well, racing internationally. I think he was 5th in Lucerne, actually. He was 9th in Paris. So, probably thought, right, I want to go and do the Diamond Challenge Sculls, but what a year to pick, because feels like the entire international sculling scene wants that Pineapple Cup. And Twellaar at the moment is leading in this race from Hollandia Roy Club. A big hello, a big welcome to all of the Dutch supporters we have watching on our live stream, and there are quite a few on the bank here too. Great to have such a strong Dutch representation at this regatta.
And also, any Japanese fans who are up in the middle of the night to support this race, were they staying up late or setting alarms very early?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, huge welcome, yokosu, to our Japanese listeners. Yeah, as we see Ryuta Arakawa take on this incredible Dutch sculler, Melvin Twellaar.
The thing with these single sculls races, and as the reason you've seen Melvin Twellaar not sort of let up is, these are actually quite long races. They're about a minute longer than an eights race. So there's quite a lot of time for the sort of narrative of the race to change.
There is, and we've seen it before, that you've got to get the pacing right. These are boat class where you can make a big difference in a small space. But here we see the ruthless efficiency of Melvin Twellaar, who is so direct, actually looks like he's on flat calm water, so quick to cover the blades, and with the huge long legs there, he's got a great length, great leverage that you see, and I think that's one of the things in the Dutch style, isn't it? The leverage of the boats, that they use the back, they use the legs, they use that hip opening to be so effective. So let's have a look at Arakawa. There he is. Looks like he's got a little more wobbling going on with the water, but as always, when you're behind it, just suddenly it feels like your water's wobblier than somebody else's. And, again, really effective sculler that's got experience, but you can see the washes that come across there, and they knock the single scull. Whoever you are, your boat is thrown up and down by them.
And I think in those sorts of moments, you can either react to it and let it stress you out and make you tense, or you can kind of think, well, I'm going to master these conditions. And Twellaar's doing that so well. In the last shot we saw of him, you could see that something he was doing very skillfully was, it kind of looks as though when he's sliding up the boat, he's actually bringing his feet towards him and kind of pulling them even further towards the finish line.
So Arakawa has not seen a lot of the Dutch sculler Melvin Twellaar, and Arakawa is left to race his race, see what he can do, how fast can he make his boat go over the course, whilst we glide up and see Melvin Twellaar up close and watch precision and power. Having a little look there. When you go past the gap, you just want to check where the booms are. Probably still learning exactly where he is on the course, because it's so challenging. It's so different from racing a 2,000-meter course with markers at every 500 meters. He'll have a plan, he'll have a sense of what he wants to get out of this race to prepare him for what could be some incredible matchups to come over the weekend.
And they are incredible matchups. We could at some point see sort of Twellaar and Van Dorp, Dutch v Dutch, real match there. That would be amazing.
So you can see that even, having to adjust. He's a little close perhaps to the booms, and sometimes the washes just knock your boat and you have to just, constantly, you want to row just straight, but you have to be adjusting each stroke. But of course, he's got the luxury of being several lengths out front, and he's going to hear the crowds now cheering for him from the Hollandia Roy Club, cheering, watching the live stream, cheering on the banks here. It's a club that appears in the 2010 Moving the Social Network, where beating the Harvard team of the Winkelhoff twins in the finals of the Grand Challenge Cup in 2004, which they won representing the Holland 8, the official Dutch rowing team. So a bit of history, a bit of film history linking him with Henley Royal Regatta there. That Melvin Twellaar is making his own history on the course today as he enters the final part of the race for a place in the semi-final. We can see him in that beautiful position in the commentary box, coming towards us, having a look. Where is that line? Relaxed, relieved, excited for his semi-final, whilst we see Ryuta Arakawa fight all the way to the finish. A great sprint to the line, closing the gap. But that is the end of his Henley Royal Regatta for this year, and a lovely nod across.